to you from the U.S. and streaming all over the world. This is Shotgun Sports USA. Get accurate, reliable information in every single episode. With interviews from the best shooters in the game, the best gun clubs across the globe, and industry-leading companies that revolutionize the sport. Find us online at shotgunsportsusa.com. Shotgun Sports USA is driven by Beretta, the #1 choice of champions. Also brought to you by Cole Gunsmithing, Rick Hemingway's Pragmatic Trap Sales, Castellani USA and Ultimate Shooting Accessories, Soundgear Phantom, Clay Target Vision, and Clay Shooter Supply. Welcome to the show.
My guest on the show this week is a trick shooter. Everyone has seen him with a bow, but he does more than that. He's a Georgia boy, an outdoorsman, and a freelance videographer. He has a social media reach of over 1 million followers and views on some of his videos upwards of 50 million. Now think about that for a second. Just a little note, if you're looking for all Sporting Clays content this week, this isn't the show for you, but this guy's interesting and very talented, and he's very talented at shooting clay targets with a bow. Please welcome to the show, James Jean. James, what's up, man?
How's it going? Doing good here. Just got out here on the farm here.
Yeah, well, welcome to the show. It's kind of, I like to have different guests on with me from time to time that may be into shotgun sports and may not be, but do something that's related to it somehow. And I think that what you do is a perfect example. I'm going to call you a trick shooter because I think that's what you are. You're mainly a trick shooter with a bow and other things. We'll talk about that in a minute. And I ran across your videos somewhere a while back, and my kids and I were watching them and we're thinking, how does this guy do this? I mean, he's shooting arrows through a ring, and he's shooting a crossing target with a bow and arrow. So then I got a few emails saying, hey man, you got to get this guy on the show. So I want to talk to you about what you do, how you got to doing it, what it takes to do what you do, and we'll talk about all that here coming up. So first off, tell me what you do. And I know you live in Georgia, but tell me what you do, how you got into this. And
well, yeah. If we're going to go from the start, I was born in Costa Rica.
Okay.
My mom's Costa Rican. My dad used to go down there dove hunting back when hunting was legal.
Mm-hmm.
And met her, and I was born down there, but came to the States, came to Georgia soon after, lived in Marietta for a little while, and moved out here to the farm in 99. But he was an avid hunter, traveling all over the place. And, he'd been to Africa 21 times. He's,
wow.
Goes to Alaska, does bird hunting here and there. Not so much anymore, but I always grew up in the outdoors, hunting and fishing. And, and then we moved to the farm in 99, and, I had a bunch of land to roam on.
Yeah.
Always played in the creek, fished, always had a BB gun on me and always shot. And as far as the bow stuff goes, I shot bows here and there. My dad's kind of primarily a rifle hunter. He messed up his shoulder when he was younger, so he never really shot a bow. But in my graduation, he gave me a Matthews compound, and I got to where I was really obsessed about it, shooting targets and stuff like that. And, got my first buck that year, and I was just hooked where I was shooting every day, any chance I got. And then it got to the point where I was kind of getting burnt out, where, just shooting still targets was kind of getting boring. So I just started playing around with moving targets. And then I got a recurve and started playing around with that, and just kind of slowly evolved into this. And as far as the trick shooting goes, is, I was, really into hunting, really into duck hunting. Started, got a clay thrower, started shooting clays, done a little bit of sporting clays. And we was just out there shooting sporting clays one time, and I figured I'd grab my recurve, and, started hitting them pretty easy. And it just kind of all blossomed from there. And that about 12, 13 years ago. And the shots has been evolving and getting harder since then.
You've shot clays with a shotgun, and now you shoot them with a bow. What
Yep.
what similarities do you see there? I mean, I know you got to shoot a target that's moving, so you have to shoot in front of it. But what similarities are there?
Well, it's kind of that same idea. I feel like if you know how to shoot a shotgun, you'll have more. It's an easier time trying to do this type of stuff. It's the same kind of point and shoot. You just got to figure out that rhythm. You got to lead it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Once you get the hang of it, it's it's pretty simple. Once you get a consistent form, shooting kind of the same way and reading your misses to try to get a hit.
Yeah. So when you're a recurve bow, and I don't shoot bows. I mean, I shot a bow one time and it about knocked my arm off, and I was holding it, and I said, I'm not doing this anymore. So,
yeah.
So when you're shooting a compound bow, you're aiming that bow. You're looking down some sights, right?
Yes.
And when you shoot a recurve, it's more or less like a shotgun. You pull the string back to your face, and you're looking with your eyes, and you're letting off the string, right?
Yeah. You're you have a certain anchor point, but you're not looking at the bow. You're looking at the target.
Right. That's what I meant. Yeah. So it's just as soon as it comes back, you let it go. That just seems like it would be awful hard to do. I especially with an arrow going. I mean, I know they're not going slow, but it's going slower than a shotgun shell. So it's just crazy to me. I know people wonder this all the time, and I'm sure people listening to this are going to say, "Well, I've seen his videos, but he had to have done that all day before he finally got that arrow before the ring or go into the ring." How true is that, or is it not true at all?
Could be a little bit true. I have good and bad days, but this is at first when I first started doing this, I used to just start throwing arrows at it, open to hit it, and after a while, I just realized that I'll give everything. Nowadays, I give everything about 20 shots. If I can't get in 20 shots, something needs to change, or I just need to get away from it because I could spend all day shooting at it and not hit it. And the thing with the bow is your arms get tired.
Yeah.
So you don't want to shoot a whole bunch. And after a few shots, you just start getting sloppy.
Yeah.
And so I try to get everything within 20 shots or something like that. But so, I mean, I have the weirdest thing is some of these trick shots, the hard ones I get super easy. Well, not super easy, but like I'll get, sometimes
quicker
first, second try, 5 or 6 tries. And then sometimes some of these shots I thought would be the easiest would take a lot longer. Like I remember one of my hardest ones that doesn't seem hard is like I shot a clay coming at me to pop and then have the fragments hit and pop 2 balloons. And some reason I could not for the life of me get both of them balloons to pop. And just it's stuff like that. And then
so you mean you shot the clay with an arrow and you wanted the pieces of the broken clay to fall down and break the balloon or pop the balloons?
Yeah, pop 2 balloons. And it's pretty simple if you look at the video. But that one took forever. That was one of my hardest shots. I hit the clay 97 times before I got the balloons to pop.
Wow. That's crazy. No, keep going. What's some of the ones that you would think would be hard but were easy?
I threw up a wedding ring and turned away without looking at it and shot that one. I got that one third try. But that was a lucky shot for sure. I don't know. Yesterday I had a tractor. I rigged it up where it's kind of doing a donut and had a target up high, and that was at 58 yards where it's doing a donut. And I shot that thing first try. I didn't think I was going to hit it for first try, but it's several things. But I mean, when I'm learning shot, sometimes I struggle, but there's always like a little trick to it or something. And the great thing about filming with cameras is you can go back and look at it and see what's wrong. It's like I did a shot that went kind of viral where I shot an arrow coming at me and a Robin Hood it from the front. And I shot at it a couple times and I looked at it slow-mo and I was like, oh, my alignment's wrong. The arrow that's coming out from the bow I had it shooting from was kicking it off the side. And I took one step to the right, I believe, and then I hit it right then. It's just little tricks like that.
So you shot an
once
arrow.
you figure out these shots.
You shot an arrow coming at you.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'd have to have a shield.
It ain't too bad. You could step out of the way if you want. You'd have to. It's a lot of thinking and prepare. Like you got to prepare a lot for some of these shots, where I have to have it kind of flat to shoot at it in order for it to Robin Hood, right?
Right.
So I have to have the angle like directly at me. So you have to and you don't want to shoot directly at the bow. You have to have it kind of arcing, kind of where it kind of arcs up and then goes flat, and then you can shoot it. Because if not, you could have a chance of shooting the bow and busting that thing that you're shooting at.
Yeah.
So once I know it's just a lot of planning and preparation nowadays for that stuff.
Well, that's what I was going to say. When say you come up with something you want to do, and you've got this. We'll just talk about that one for a second. I mean, how much planning and preparation goes into that before the shot even happens? I mean,
more than actual shooting nowadays. It feels like it's. I work here on the farm, but I try to get here around 7:30, 8, and then try to get done by 9. So I have to have that time I either set up, shoot, make the shot, move on, or I'm practicing, or I'm in that little morning span. I'll be working on the next shot for the next day or the day after. But yeah, that's how I usually do it. I got about an hour and a half window to make everything happen and tear down and put it back up.
So is this something that's? I know you work on the farm. What do you bale hay? What do you do on the farm?
So it's basically the family farm here. We just got we have close to 500 acres, and I mostly just keep up with it. And
okay.
My dad has a shop and everything, and I work for the shop. And he's 76 now, and he's just getting where he can't really keep up the farm on his own. So I'm constantly either bush hogging or cutting up trees that fell down, or we've been baling hay lately. We had the worst day yesterday. We were supposed to be on the podcast yesterday, and I was out here till 9 o'clock trying to get hay in the barn. But
yeah,
it's I know I really enjoy it. I'm outside every day, and just the farm where you see the videos. That's where I'm working at every day.
And you're videoing the stuff too. Like you don't have anybody out there with you, right?
No. So around 2012, I always filmed myself. I was always into filming since I grew up skateboarding a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of skateboarders that film myself, send to sponsors or do stuff for like different companies. And I had a couple sponsors, and I was doing competitions and stuff, and you film yourself skateboarding. And that's how I got into filming and editing. And, being a farm boy, skateboarding didn't really work out. You had to move to the city, and I could care less about moving to a city. So I was like, man, I love to hunt and everything. I might as well try to film these hunts. And started doing that, and then went to Zimbabwe for 6 months and filmed Dangerous Game and stuff like that. And then after that, started getting into outdoor shows and television, filming and producing, and sometimes appearing on them.
Nice. I didn't know that. Of course, I don't know why I would know that, but that's pretty cool. What kind of dangerous game are you talking about? Like, I mean, were you hunting
leopard,
them?
elephant, buffalo?
Oh.
Was the most, like a big 5, hippo, crocodile, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm out on that too.
Yeah, it's a different, especially when you got a camera. You don't have nothing to shoot them at. Shoot them with, And I had some close calls with leopards, and a few mock charges with elephants and buffaloes and stuff like that. And it's different down there. It's crazy, but I love it. And it's crazy. Where we's at, it's all free range. And you're spotting a track, and you're following that thing all day, hoping you can come across that animal. And they could tell which one, how big. Like, all right, this one's a mature bull, just by looking at this track and seeing it. And they could walk through tall grass and gravel and still stay on that track. It's amazing.
Yeah, sounds like you've been doing a lot of stuff. How old are you, James?
I'm 30.
Yeah, you sound like you've done a lot.
I turned 21 in Africa. Yeah, 21st birthday there.
Do you still like to hunt? Do you have time for it?
Yeah, I still love to hunt. I do it now. Slowed down. I still film and edit a lot here and there, but not as much as I used to. I used to work full time for a show called Trophy Quest, and then after that, I started freelancing. And even I seen that you had Marty Fisher on there. I filmed him he tried to have a show called If It Flies. I filmed him for duck season, filming upland game and upland bird hunting and stuff like that for a season. And that, as far as the hunting goes, it kind of burnt me out because it got to the point where like we're just hoping to kill something, just get on footage kind of deal.
Yeah.
And now I just go out there without cameras and just try to have fun. It doesn't matter. Like I'll go out there with a bow or a gun or whatever. I'll take my son out. I got a son and a daughter, and my son's old enough now to come out with me, and we're just having fun.
So if you go take a gun and you want to go shoot around a sporting clays, and you just got, you're used to shooting this bow at them more than you are a gun, do you think it helps you or do you think it hurts you? I would just think you would be an unbelievable shot with a gun if you can do what you can do with a bow. That's just what I would assume. Yeah.
I haven't shot sporting clays in a long time with the shotgun. It's a little bit easier with the bow here just because of the sound. I don't want to wake up the neighbors and spook up, a lot of wildlife. But it's I used to shoot sporting clays, and I haven't done it in a while. Now I might have a better understanding of targets and how to, correct myself better. But I only done a few sporting clay things, and that was just around the 80s. That was about 12 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I would just think you'd be really, really good with it. Is with the hand-eye coordination. I mean, you got to have. So tell me how you shoot a recurve bow. How do you shoot one out of clay? Tell me the steps. I know what to do with a gun. Tell me what you got to do with a bow. Yeah.
So I like to. It just depends on what direction I'm going. It's hard to. Most of the time, the easiest one for me is to come in two shot.
Right.
Coming overhead.
Yeah.
And then the gun weighs a little bit harder. So it just depends on what bow you have. The faster bows, like the heavier bows, seem to work a little bit better. It's a little more forgiving on these targets now. Some of these arrows, they're not traveling fast. It's like I haven't really chronographed it, but I imagine it's under 200 feet per second. With these recurves and with the compound, it's a little bit easier in some of these shots too, like the going ways and stuff like that. So it just depends. It's the crossing shots. It will fool your eyes. Like you always think you're really close to it, but the way, like a far crossing shot, you'd think you're close to it, but you're actually way behind it. But the way it looks like in your eye, like the way it looks like in your eyes when you're shooting, it looks like you're just right behind it or something. But it seems like with crossing shots, you need to try your hardest to miss in front of it.
Yeah.
And you're actually a lot closer that way. And you usually end up hitting it that way. But yeah, it's tough. It just takes a lot of practice. The speed really affects the bow, like a hitting plays the bow. And it's just like I went down to Texas and we did like a world record fastest target hit with the arrow. And I think the limits was you have to be 30 yards away and it has to be like perpendicular. So it was a 47 mile per hour clay, 48. I forgot what it was. But unfortunately, we had an arcing target, like I forgot what you call them.
Like a Shondale?
Like a Shondale, whatever. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
And I really wanted just the regular clay. Like I want something as flat as possible when it comes to that far, because you're shooting and you're leading that thing. I mean, you're trying to shoot, 15, 20 feet in front of it.
Yeah.
And you don't know how much that thing's going to drop. Whatever wind you have, it could, rise, it could lower a little bit. And it's just stuff like that makes it way harder.
So you shot a Shondale with a bow?
Yes.
And was that I saw a picture of you holding some Guinness Book of World Records plaque or something. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
So you're in the Guinness Book of World Records down there. Oh, what records are those?
One is I shot that fast moving, the fastest target shot with the arrow, clay or bow. I forgot what it was. I still haven't got certificates yet. That was last year. But I got that, and then I got 10 balloons with 10 arrows shot at once. Like I had 10 arrows in the bow, shot them, released them all at once, and hit 10 different targets.
That's crazy.
And Yeah, the previous record was 7. And then there's another one. I wasn't planning on doing the clay or nothing. I was just gonna do the 10 and gonna do some curving shots for the episode. But some other guys was trying to do the 10, the fastest to shoot 10 arrows into one target.
Yeah.
Out of a quiver. And I did that one first go, and then I just turned around and then did the 10 balloons, 10 arrows, the shot right after that.
I guess you just have to shoot a bow to know what you're talking about. I don't, I would think stacking up 10 arrows in a bow and pulling the string back and letting it loose. I'd have one in a car. I'd have one up in a tree somewhere. I mean, I don't get it. But
it's tricky.
That's pretty wild that you can do that. So you're talking about TV shows. I know that you did something or had something to do with Dude Perfect one time.
Yep.
Now, if you know who Dude Perfect is, Dude Perfect's got like 59 million followers on social media. Well, on YouTube, I know. And they do shows all over the country. Trick shows. I mean, they'll throw, they'll shoot an arrow from 100 yards away and hit a gong or something crazy. Just something crazy. And you were involved with them. What did you do with them?
We just primarily doing like an archery trick shot video.
Yeah.
And they done 2 before, but this is the first time they had a guest with the archery stuff, and they had me on there, and it was a good time. Went down and seen their facility. It's amazing what all they have accomplished with YouTube videos. Like they have huge warehouses. They're building like a $300 million facility. They have golf courses, apartments, churches. Like, it's amazing.
Really?
And they're really down to earth guys, and I mean, they're great. They understand, and they're big hunters. Some of them are big hunters as well.
I think they all went to Texas A&M also.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that they're big Aggies over there. So, now when you went over there, they recorded a video, right? Is a video out on their channel?
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
Cool.
They got there. There's I actually shot clays in that one. The first. It's funny. Clays is like the easiest thing to me because I've been just doing it so long. Mm-hmm. As far as like the trick shooting goes, and they went the first day we got there. He's like, all right, we got the whole day to shoot clays. And it's like, I want you to do these 10 shots, and then I think it's like 10, 15 minutes. I got the shots done, and I was like, oh, we had all day to do these.
Yeah,
it was funny, but yeah, it's a good time. They're great people, and they could shoot. They done shotgun trick shots before with the Gould brothers.
Yeah,
a long time ago.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen that one. Maybe I've seen the Gould brothers for sure. A lot of people think that this stuff's oh well, this is set up or rigged or something, but I think that it's really. I would think it would be harder to do what you're doing with these trick shots than it would be. Harder to accomplish it and finish it and do it right than it would be going to a job every day and working 9 to 5. That's just what I think.
It's weird. You have good days and bad days, and it's it's tough. It's like even with these self-filming stuff, it's like there's been a few times. Not a few times, tons of times where I filmed it and forgot to press record.
I have.
It's like what's it called? Last Friday, I shot a aspirin off a weed whacker with a BB gun, and I hit it, and then I forgot to record it on the slow-mo camera, so I had to do it again. But luckily, there's both quick shots.
And that's
stuff like that.
That's just easy. That's just easy to you, isn't it? I mean, what?
I don't know. I'm just lucky. I think. I
can't even see an aspirin. I can't even see an aspirin. How do you even shoot at aspirin? And you're not using some high-tech BB gun. You're using a Red Ryder.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. That Red Ryder shoots pretty good. I can shoot pretty good groups with that thing.
I told you that when we get kids, some people in the sport, when they get kids to start shooting, they'll knock the sights off of one of those guns and they'll throw a bunch of ping pong balls in the yard and shoot at them, to get them used to pointing the gun instead of aiming it. And you said you did the same thing.
Oh yeah, that's how my dad got me doing it. I don't know if he trained or met some guy down in Georgia. He was a shotgun shooter, and that's how he taught people, with a BB gun. I guess he could shoot dimes and stuff out of there. I forgot. I heard that from several people.
He can shoot a dime out of there? Wow.
He'll shoot dimes out of there and stuff like that.
That's crazy. What else you shooting with BB guns?
Aspirins, clays. I shoot clays with it also, and water drops. I've been doing a lot of stuff lately with the BB gun. I forgot what all. I'd have to look at them. I've been playing around with just different stuff. It's like I've probably done 500 different shots with a bow so far, and sometimes it gets hard to come up with an idea. So it's nice to just get something else and try an old idea with it.
Yeah. You said you hit a water drop.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's I got a little water dropper and hit a water dropper, and it's more. At first, when I first did it with a bow, probably 3 years ago, it was kind of tough, but I finally figured out it's more of a reaction shot. See, you find the timing of it, the distance underneath the water drop you need to point, and then you just watch that water drop. Right when it drops, you shoot, boom, and you can get 2-3 times in a row if you do it right.
That's cool, man. I mean, it's all cool to me. I think it's really cool that you shoot clays with a bow to start with, and then I was going through some of your videos and I've seen you with a BB gun and fishing lure, threw a fishing lure up and hit a clay target. I mean, it's just,
I'm trying to hit a clay with whatever.
So what kind of throwers are you using? I know you got to have a thrower to throw it at you. What are you using?
I don't recommend it. It's a do-all outdoors, and it's from Bass Pro Shop. And I don't want to trash them, but yeah, we got to do some modifications to even get it thrown.
Really? Sounds like.
And I bought another one, and I can't even get that thing to throw. It's still in the shop.
So tell me this. I was talking about Dude Perfect's following. What's your following like on Facebook or Instagram or whatever? YouTube?
I think it's total. It's over 1 million.
Wow, that's crazy.
I think my highest view video is probably somewhere in the 50 millions.
Nice. That's cool.
I forgot Snoop Dogg made a good reference the other day. It's like being famous on Instagram and Facebook. It's like being rich on Monopoly.
Hey, speaking of Snoop Dogg, what'd you do with him? You did something with Snoop Dogg.
Oh yeah, I've done a couple of these talent shows, like America's Got Talent kind of style.
Yeah.
And he was on the Go Big show, and that was actually you're right south of Macon, Georgia. It was filmed actually at that little arena there, right off of. I don't know if it's right when you get on 16. Macon
Coliseum.
Yep, right there. I had to stay there. That was right in the heat of the pandemic. We had to get tested every day. It was why everybody outside was not wearing masks or whatever. And it was pretty neat. Snoop Dogg was there. Bert Kreischer was the host.
Oh my gosh.
Cody Rhodes, Dusty Rhodes' son, wrestler.
Yeah.
Was one of the judges. Rosario Dawson, she's a movie star, kind of she's in like The Mandalorian and a lot of Star Wars stuff. And I forgot what else. She's done a bunch of movies. And the one, I want to say she was in Sugarland, the country singer.
Yeah.
Blonde-headed girl. I forgot her name.
Yeah, I know.
She's another judge. And I was competing in that show, and I was in the top 6.
Nice. That's good.
And I was on TBS.
I didn't even know they did that. I literally live 20 minutes from Macon and had no idea they even did that.
Yeah, I think they had 2 seasons. I don't think they're still doing it. It's kind of weird thing. It's a lot of hurry up and wait. No warm ups. You just got to get out there and shoot. And, it's really nerve wracking. I shoot on the farm here. I don't shoot in front of people, and that's a big problem of mine. It's like mentally, I feel like I shut down whenever somebody comes and watches me.
Yeah.
But I'm working on it, trying to get better.
It's hard to do it in front of people,
like
huh? I bet it would be. I bet it would be. What? So tell me what's your plans, man? What do you want to like? Do you want to continue to do this and hope it gets bigger, kind of like Dude Perfect, or do you want to kind of just do it for fun and stay on the farm? And what's your goals?
It's a mixture of both. I love to do a living doing what I do.
Yeah.
I just kind of want to do it my way. I want to keep it fun. But it might. I got some ideas. It might turn into a full-time gig, but I don't want to be one of that guy that has to shove ads in front of your face all the time in order to make a living or work with companies I don't want to work with.
Yeah.
Just, try to keep it real, try to keep it fun, stuff like that. And, right now it's part-time, about half my income with stuff like that, but it's fun, pays to, do something I love to do.
How far are you from Macon?
I think an hour and 45, hour and 50 minutes.
All right. I was going to say, you need to come down when you go shoot some clays with a shotgun, and you can bring your bow and show me how to do it.
Yeah.
We can get that on video.
You got to be in the open field so you can get your arrows afterwards.
Oh yeah. Well,
or you'll just lose them. Them arrows get expensive.
I forgot about that. Well, we'll come. I'll get in touch with you, and we'll get you down here in the field, and we'll get you some real clay throwing machines. And the ones that all you have to do is push a button, and they come out every single time. They call them Promatics, and we'll get you shooting.
I bet they throw consistent too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that's a big thing too, throwing it the right, the same spot every time.
Oh yeah, it does. Mine does not do that. It's I try to like a few weeks ago I tried to get a clay going away from me, but have a camera. I made kind of a square frame, about 12 by 12 frame, and have the camera on top where it kind of looks like the clay's coming straight at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd have to shoot. I've done recurve, compound, slingshot, and BB gun that day just to get them clips.
Yeah.
And it took me about five hits each to get a good one, a decent one on film. Like it'd be one to the right, one to the left, stuff like that. I had one almost have a couple almost hit the camera. It was a nightmare. I had to stop and work on it some. That little arm gets out of sync.
Well, that's what you get what you pay for. I mean, you can't.
Yes.
You can't knock them because they're doing it and making them for people that just want to go out in their backyard and just shoot at something. But
yeah, that works good, and I think it's definitely due for. I'm definitely due for another one. I put too many clays over the years. It's probably about time for that one to retire.
Listen, I know you got things to do. I appreciate you coming on, just kind of talking a little bit about what you do, and I kind of want you to get. I want to get you involved in some shotgun. I want to see you shoot a shotgun at some clays. So I think we need to do that and figure that out. And
yeah.
And we'll get that lined up, and maybe we'll get some of it taped. And for everybody listening, if you want to go on YouTube, go to Jean Trickshots and check out some of that stuff. It's really, really cool, and the video works great, to be able to capture all that stuff. So, but yeah, if we can ever do anything for you, man, holler at me. I appreciate you coming on. I know it's kind of a weird podcast to come on because we talk about shotgun sports, but
I'm all for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. You know what a shotgun is. You've shot them before, so. Yeah. Maybe something different for the people instead of the same old stuff all the time. So, if you ever need anything, holler at me, man. And I appreciate you coming on.
Oh, thank you.
All right,
thank you for having me on.
Thanks for listening. For more episodes, go to our website, shotgunsportsusa.com. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook.